球上最著名的球王，足球球王。他更是在巴西很贫困的时候，让巴西在世界杯足球赛里头不断的得胜。巴西的小朋友很穷，非常穷苦，在街头上有个足球给他们踢，就变成是他们人生很大的快乐。而当他们的 Billy 可以在全世界得到如此殊荣的时候，这是这个贫穷国家在那一刻最大的荣耀。而这位球王在本周过世，享寿82岁。
We have some breaking news for you, and it's some sad news. Soccer legend Pelé has died at the age of 82.
One player, one name. An icon who put the beautiful in the game. The boy called Edson who would forever be Pelé. The only man to have won 3 World Cup titles, Pelé dragged football from black and white into colour and made Brazilian yellow look perfect next to World Cup gold. The trophy may have been called Jules Rimet, but it was peppered with the fingerprints of Pelé.
And in 1958, at 17, he became the youngest man to play in a World Cup final, scoring twice as Brazil beat Sweden. It was the first of 3 world titles he'd helped win for his country.
My father used to say, man should be strong, man doesn't cry. Then I saw my father cry when Brazil lost the game. Then I told him, Father, no, don't worry, I'm gonna win 1 World Cup for you. Don't worry, I was 9 years.
这个小男孩实践了他的承诺。
Then 8 years late, I was in Sweden with Brazil with 17 years old. Brazil won the World Cup. That's a gift for God because I don't know why I promised to my father.
Before he was the world's greatest, to a young Pelé, his father was the best footballer around. But when he got injured and his club stopped paying him, Pelé became a shoeshine to help the family out. But every day after school, he put on his football boots, and his talent meant at 16 he joined the Brazilian side Santos. And then at 17, he was called up to join the Brazilian national team to play in the 1958 World Cup in Sweden.
By this time, he was better known by his nickname, Pelé.
这绰号其实源于一个嘲笑，因为他念不出 Pelé 这个字。
I fight in college with the kids because no, my name is Edson, they call me Pelé. I got 2 days suspended in the school. Then everybody in school, all the kids start to call me Pelé. I hate that time. Today I love, of course. Now I love because, I don't know, God gave it to me. Short name, easy to pronounce it, any language you can remember Pelé. Because my name is Edson Arantes do Nascimento. This is hard to remember, no? And then today I love Pelé.
He electrified audiences with his fancy footwork and ability to score seemingly impossible goals, so it was something of a disappointment that his 1000th goal was a penalty.
A friend of mine, he's a comic guy in Brazil. He say, listen, God stopped the game because everyone has to see your 1000 goal. That's the reason it was the penalty kick.
After his goal, the game against Vasco da Gama was stopped for several minutes to celebrate his landmark achievement. In 1967, Pelé learned that he and his team had the power to stop other things too, when their visit to Nigeria prompted warring factions to call a 48-hour ceasefire in the country's civil war.
We stopped war because the people were so crazy for football. They love football. They stopped the war to see Santos play in Africa. This is a fantastic, you know.
By the time Pelé retired as a footballer in 1977, playing his final years for the Cosmos in New York, he'd amassed a career total of 1,281 goals.
他的伟大不在于他的进球数，而是他让全世界看见巴西。
Continua viva a proteção pelo nosso Brasil, porque o Brasil começou aqui, né? Essa Copa do Mundo 58, ninguém conhecia o Brasil. Até o nome da bandeira estava errado, que o Zagallo que pediu para trocar na época.
If you look at Brazil before 1958, it wasn't this sort of football nation. 12 years later, when Pelé wins his 3rd and final World Cup in 1970, everybody in the world knows Brazil for its football. It's a football nation, and it's a football nation because of one man.
If club football then and now was focused on the European scene, Pelé stuck to his roots. He never left Santos for any of the big European clubs. And he used his status for good. Following his retirement, he sought to help children out of poverty.
Eu acho que da caixa de engraxar para cá, entende? Deus me deu essa oportunidade de dar esse exemplo aos garotos, que de lá a gente pode ser Pelé e nós vamos ter muitos Pelés aqui, se Deus quiser, no Brasil.
He served as a UN ambassador for ecology and the environment. He rubbed shoulders with state leaders all over the world, and he received an honorary knighthood from Queen Elizabeth in 1997. And who could forget his appearance in the cult movie Escape to Victory?
Go. After giving me ball, here I do these. Go. Easy.
身为传奇，比利也有他的缺点。他是个不忠的丈夫，一生红粉知己无数，还有多个未婚生子女。但是他谨遵父亲教诲，远离酒精和毒品，因为父亲告诫他要保护自己的身体，并为孩子们树立榜样。
I got the gift from God to play football. And then my father used to say, listen, if you get the gift from God to play, if you be in good shape, nobody stop you. Then I try to do this all my life. That's, I think, something who I feel very proud of me, because I try to give my best, to give the best for the people, for the crowd. Then God was very nice with me.
这位孩子们的榜样与英雄，在与癌症斗争后，于2022年12月29日辞世。
For hours they queued through the night in Santos, for one last moment shared with the footballer who meant so much more than football to them.
In only his second day in office, the new Brazilian president came to pay his respects to the man who'd given so much to his country. Pelé's casket was loaded onto a fire truck draped in the Brazilian flag and started its journey through the streets of Santos. The procession moved slowly along the beachfront towards his mother's house. A poignant moment as his 100-year-old mother, Celeste, has outlived Brazil's most famous son. Pelé's last fixture was a private family funeral at the world's tallest vertical cemetery. He picked the 9th floor as a tribute to his footballer father, Donjinho, who wore the number 9 shirt.
他这一生拿下3座世足金杯，无人能及。他是球王，他是传奇，在人生的尽头，他希望别人记得他什么呢
82 anos é presente de Deus. Espero que a gente continue muito tempo juntos. Felicidade, mais uma vez eu quero que fique bem claro. Eu agradeço de coração tudo que eu tenho recebido nesse mundo. Dos meus fãs, das pessoas que me adoram. Muito obrigado.
谢谢收看今天文茜的世界周报，文茜的世界财经周报，我们下礼拜见，拜拜。